Brendan Rodgers upgraded his vehicle tonight for the Europa League. He may have stalled it in the first half, but eventually got that Range Rover Sport up and running into first, second and third gear in the second half, and that was enough to defeat Sturm Graz by 2-1. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. If Brendan Rodgers was driving a Range Rover Sport, then I'm guessing at Sturm Graz perhaps were driving a bus, because they certainly parked it at Celtic Park. They looked like they were going to try and just hold on to that 1-0 lead. But in the end, Celtic's dominance paid off. They created a lot of chances, and I think they deserved their victory. Probably deserved to win by more than a single goal, but Celtic could only score 2. And when you win by a single goal, you do run the risk of perhaps conceding a late goal. Thankfully for Celtic, though, and for the Scottish coefficient, they held on, because honestly, I don't think we could have afforded 3 defeats tonight.
Well, I think the coefficient's dead, folks. But regardless, Celtic still need it to win this game. They want to get to the knockout stages. They've done that. Well, they've not got to the knockout stages, but they've kept it more than alive. It's favourable now. If you lost this tonight, I thought it was all over.
What was Danny Rowe driving the night, out of curiosity?
Crawling. He was doing the Salamanca crawl up the road. If you watch Breaking Bad, you know what I mean. If you don't, then...
No bus fare, no.
I mean, it was either the Salamanca crawl, or it was the carrying of, what do you call him? Hector's wheelchair up the road. Anyway, enough of the Breaking Bad ref, because Rangers are just breaking pish. Honestly, break and roll. Break and roll.
I reckon Rangers would do better with 11 Hector Salamancas on the pitch.
Aye, post stroke.
Aye,
I know they would.
But at least the wheelchairs are a bit wider, so they would take up more space. You know, there'd be less. Hell, at least with 4 wheelchairs at the back line, there'd be less space than Tavernier leaves to play through. So
unless it was windy, maybe we'd end up getting blown up the pitch.
Fucking might actually blow them into making a tackle. I'd get 4 Hector Salamancas on the back line.
No, they need to.
But anyway, we're not talking about Rangers. They're shite. Let's talk about Celtic. They're not so shite. Although
not so shite tonight.
Not so shite tonight. Still second in the Scottish Premiership, mind you. But
well, the second 21st Street sounds American, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? Although you could argue they're second and in the playoff positions, unlike Rangers, who are sixth.
Moving up the table, someone's got to help the coefficient. Look at that. Utrecht's 35th. Only 35 teams in the Europa League this year.
That is true.
Are Celtic 36th? I don't see them. The table is on the right of your screen, by the way.
The table, the good old table.
21st. That's manifold. I don't even know what that is. Could have been easy, wasn't. But Celtic showed grit, heart, and just enough finishing. We move. That's just a load of AI.
Yeah. I seen a lot of comments saying that McGregor was great tonight. I personally didn't see it.
Only time I noticed him is when some guy put his studs to him.
I thought Hattati was actually better than McGregor tonight.
Nah, I thought Hattati was shite.
I thought Hattati was alright.
If you're picking one guy at the midfield, Arnie Engels is a step above the other two. Easy.
What about Nigan? I know he didn't play midfield, but...
Nah, he can't be missed as many chances as he did and get away with it.
But not argue that he got in better positions than most players, no? Like...
Yeah, he didn't score, did he? Well, he scored once, but I mean, he could have literally scored 5 tonight.
I still feel bad for Yamada. I don't know what the guy's done. I'm not saying he's great, but he's not been given a chance.
True. Do us a favour and shift the board. The board aren't going anywhere. John Kennedy. There you go. The Carter Vickers, Liam Scales, and Cal McGregor were the most accurate passes and touches. Thoughts on that? It should never be the case. That.
Well, you say that should never be the case, but I think in current day football, that's always going to be the case.
No, that's what I mean. I mean, in terms of football, I like my forward players. Yeah, the touches.
Your 2 centre backs and your deepest sitting midfielder will be the 3 players with the most touches and the most passes, because that's the way football's played now. Yep. This possession based style. Like, see, back in the day, like, the centre backs very rarely passed it. Or and I tell you what, see if they did pass. I mean, a lot of times they would hoof it up, but see when they did pass it, I tell you, they weren't getting the ball back in the same phase of play.
No, I know.
No, but see all the great teams in the past. See when the centre-backs passed the ball.
Yeah.
They weren't getting it back until like they recovered the ball from the other team. See once the centre-backs played it into the midfield, they were effectively... They could go and have a cup of tea.
No, I know.
Until they lost the ball, because once the midfield got it, they were only looking for the forward players. They were only looking for the wingers. But now in football, it's like, you pass it to the centre back, you pass it to your fellow centre back, you play it into the CDM. The CDM looks forward and decides, nah, I don't fancy
pass
it,
the other one,
and just passes back to the centre. That never happened back in the day.
It is a bit tragic.
See when football was good. See, as soon as you got into the opponent's half, that was it. See, when you gave the ball to a wide man, 3 things were happening. He was either going to run out to towards the byline and put a cross in. He was either going to dribble and cut inside and take a shot, or he was going to lose the ball. That was it. See now, how many times do you see the winger, the wide man, pretty much run down, have an opportunity to cross it in and go, nah, I don't fancy it, and just turn back and pass it.
I thought Celtic were guilty of that tonight, where
it's not a Celtic problem, it's a current football problem.
No, but they could have got more shots away. We've seen,
but also
with Stone Gratz,
just before we move on, we will move on. But I just want to point out, it's like, to me, it makes no sense. You cannot tell me that the centre backs are the best passers of the ball, and you can't tell me that they have the best touch and the best ability. So why, in this current era of football, why have we made it that the centre backs in the CDM are the ones that have the most ball involvement and most time and possession on the ball?
I think there's almost a case for the centre back.
It makes no sense.
I think there's a case to play a centre back just so he can play long balls.
No. Look, sometimes there has been good passers at centre back, right? Not rare, but it's pretty rare. But sometimes you get the odd good one, and yeah, there has been great CDMs, right, that can pass a ball. But I would say primarily back in the day, a CDM's job, or the deepest midfielder, their job was to tackle.
Yep.
And to mark, and to be the rock in midfield. It wasn't necessarily to pass the ball.
Nope.
But nowadays, it's those 3 players that get the most possession, get the most touches, get the most passes, and it just doesn't make sense.
The game's being played backwards.
How many times do you see the centre forward getting the least amount of touches? That's the fucking guy you want getting the most touches.
Well, according to this, Rio Atati got a 7.1. So your wee gimmick that he was better than McGregor, whoever come in with that, you've been done in there.
What did McGregor get?
7.9, so you've been snookered. Good win. Should have been more with the chance to create it. Far better tempo and aggression second half. Taniki, Atati's skills are excellent. He thinks Atati was excellent. Kalmak, Engels good, and good fit. I mean, I think the label Engels good and Atati excellent's crazy, but anyway, you've won, but at what cost? Who knows? Much needed win.
Who was good in the Rangers game, by the way?
All the brand players. That's how it works these days, guys. Gonna stop fucking doing that.
Breakfast of Champions.
Dobbing me into fucking depression. What else we got? Brendan Rodgers masterclass. Deal with it.
Looking a wee bit like Wesker there.
7 minutes. 7 minutes is all I'm going to give you. Chris, Celtic.
All I need it was 3 minutes to turn the game around, to be fair.
But that's it, man. People are getting carried away with this, aren't they?
It's a 3 minute burst, wasn't it?
No, it is.
No, it was a good performance for Celtic. I'm not going to sit here and pretend it wasn't. It was a good performance.
It was.
But
the lack of someone up front was killing them. Another day they could have scored 6.
I wouldn't just assume that based on one game that all of a sudden Celtic have turned things around.
Oh no.
I mean, there's more evidence. They've had more poor games than good games, so we'll see.
Yeah.
People are saying I'm bricking it, but Sunday, I'm not.
Who said you're bricking it?
In the match review earlier, there was a lot of people.
You're looking.
Saying I'm shaking.
See that game tonight? That took a lot out of Celtic.
Absolutely.
And there's 3 players that are potentially injured.
Yeah, no, I'm looking for.
I say potentially injured, right? Ian Atchell's out. I'd say Johnson's out, and Carter Vickers looks out.
I'm looking forward to Sunday, so. Tell you what, you can give the centre backs all the touches and passes they want, doesn't matter. But what will matter is see when Claudio Braga touches the ball in the Celtic box and puts it in the back of the net. That'll be the only touches that I think matter.
I don't think any team between Hearts and Celtic are bricking Sunday. I don't think no, because Hearts have got nothing to fear. This is just simply you go in and do what you've done all season. See if it's good enough to win, then you win. Celtic, for me, they've got nothing to fear because...
I think they do. I think if they lose, then the title's in serious jeopardy.
Well, yeah, I see that path.
Hearts aren't expected to win the league. Hearts aren't expected to challenge for the league. I know Tony Bloom says that.
Well, put it this way: if Celtic lose, all the goodwill heals out the window.
You know,
the only team breaking it on Sunday is my team.
Like if Hearts lose, normal services resumed, then people will just expect Celtic to go on and cruise the league.
Yes, but
no big deal. But if Hearts win, an 8-point gap opens up.
Do you think that though? Do you think if Hearts lose, that's it? Oh, it's done.
No, I don't. But I mean, most people will just expect that to be the case.
Hearts lose and win the game in hand next weekend. They go 5 points clear again with a game in hand. Celtic have.
Listen, see if we finish second, I'll be more than happy.
At this point, it's looking guaranteed.
Yeah, but if we win on Sunday, then I think you have to admit there is some form of title challenge.
Title challenge anyway.
Yeah, but some people are just saying, "Oh, I won't." They're going to be like Aberdeen
see
last
these
season.
People that are saying it's going to be like Aberdeen. It's beyond Aberdeen already. Aberdeen were never actually in the lead.
Yeah.
Hearts are 5 points clear, playing better.
Also,
more players than 4.
You look at Aberdeen last season. Not take anything away from them, but see that great start they had. A lot of the games they were winning by a single goal.
When did Aberdeen blow teams away? When did Celtic were looking good last year?
Yeah,
Aberdeen didn't have anything.
Yeah, no, that is true. A lot of the games Aberdeen actually were winning pretty late on as well. I remember them seemed to be getting late goals to just hang on to Celtic's coattails. But
last year felt more like Aberdeen beating Rangers. This year feels more like Hearts actually putting a title fight in.
Nah, well, I'm no bricking Sunday.
I mean, I don't think this season's about Hearts beating Rangers. I think it's about Hearts mounting a challenge at the top.
But I wish Celtic well. Hope they keep winning. Hope they do well. Hope they get into Europa League. I hope they get into the knockout stages. I hope they salvage the Scottish coefficient because fucking someone needs to, and it ain't going to be those other two teams. It ain't going to be Rangers, and it ain't going to be Aberdeen.
Look at that! Rangers beat Stone Graz. That was recent, wasn't it? Look at the names you've got there.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's a troll. I know the guy doesn't mean it, but I mean, you could just end his night by doing the reverse. First,
Rangers ended his night.
Yeah, but Storm Graz beat Rangers last 2 weeks ago.
That's the whole point, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's what we're doing here. But yeah, I mean, what?
But that was back when Rangers and Celtic were actually a force in Europe.
Yes.
And Storm Graz were a nothing team, let's be honest.
Still
look at that team though, man. Jeez, you've got legends in there.
And that's just the 5 goal scorers.
Yeah. Well, it'd be interesting to see what the lineup was for that game.
Exactly. Anyway, I wish we could click it. Engels was outstanding. How Tati and Nigel have been starting ahead of him. Yeah, I mean, I think Roger's got a few questions to ask. Please, just never play Tati ever again.
Yeah, but hold on. Engels was playing and he was pretty poor.
He was.
Sometimes if you're playing poor and you get dropped, that's the best thing for you.
Damn right. Never doubted you. Massive second half and creativity shined through after half time. A good strong win.
You would think that Celtic won about 5-0 though, based on these comments. Never doubted you. No,
that's why I look at this result and I think it's going to make people think they're back. I don't think they're back.
Sturm Graz were like inches away from going 2-0 up with that header. And that could have completely changed the game.
I think there's problems to see in this result. You beat a team that, let's face it, they're not that good, Sturm Graz. Put
it this way. Say if Rangers dominated Brand night and created loads of chances and 1-2-1, would you be going Rangers are back?
No. I mean, I'd be happy that we finally won a game.
But you'd be reserving your judgment to see that being carried over for a prolonged period of games.
Right? If Celtic replicated this exact performance against a Feyenoord or Roma, I still think Roma or Feyenoord still get something out of the game because they would create more chances.
Question is, will Celtic create this many chances against Hearts? I don't think they will.
No, I think they're going to be really tired, and it will be very interesting to know what comes out of the news tomorrow, the injury news. Well, when you're listening to this, probably this time right here, right now, we'll cover it in the SPFL review show or preview show, but we'll be back then. Massive
but
weekend.
Some people saying we're better. I'm not better. I'm glad Celtic won. I'm glad they...
Well, I'm not, but...
Alright, well, you're your own man. I mean, maybe you are better, I don't know.
I'm not better. This fucking ruined my day. But no, it ruined it further.
I can't say I enjoy Celtic winning, but a Scottish team winning is a decent consolation prize. You know, I will say that We needed it. I mean, it's
and
embarrassing.
we've got a comment sort of saying, "Oh, you're hypocritical. You're blaming the Rangers recruitment, not the Celtic recruitment." We never fucking did that. You need to go back and listen to that video, right?
No, all I did was say Danny Rowe needs to be held responsible.
He does. Danny Rowe does need to be held responsible. But see another thing, right? See if you look at the numbers. Celtic have lost numbers up front, and so have Rangers. There's no denying that both teams have lost goals in the forward area of the pitch. But what I'm saying is, there's no excuse domestically for that. I think if you want to make these excuses in Europe, then go ahead. I've always said that. We've said that about Celtic this season. If you want to have a go at the board and Rodgers wants to blame the board when you're taking on teams in Europe, then I can accept that. But see, when you're taking on Dundee and you're complaining of Ferraris, I think it's pathetic.
Oh, we didn't replace a couple of our key players. Well, Dundee lost their entire starting 11 and barely replaced any of them.
Yeah.
Barely replaced their manager, for God's sake.
Ian Acho for Ida is much better than Schmidt for Dessers. I mean, it's not even close. I don't even need to say that, to be honest.
Ian Acho, I'd say, is an upgrade on Ida.
And what's Schmidt on?
A massive downgrade, I mean.
Yeah.
And that's putting it kindly to Schmidt.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a guy that's not got a goal in 2.5 years. Anyway, we'll be back.
I actually think current Kyle Lafferty would be better up front for Rangers than Schmidt. At least he would try.
Hugh Keevins.
Well, I mean, Hugh Keevins says he'd be better on the wing than Yang. I don't know if that's true.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't put him on the wing. I think through the middle, Hugh Keevins could do a job.
Can you imagine Hugh Keevins?
I mean, we're talking a team of Hector Salamanca. 10 Hector Salamancas and Hugh Keevins up top.
What would Hugh Keevins' legs look like in a pair of shorts?
Better than Hector Salamancas, that's for sure. Anyway, guys, till next time, au revoir.